Hello everyone and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today I'm going to be going over the much anticipated new film from director Adam McKay, Don't Look Up. This Netflix original movie has one of the best ensemble casts of the year and has been on pretty much everybody's Oscar shortlist since it was first announced. Does it reach the heights that had first been predicted, or does it fall short of expectations? Let's talk about it. Don't Look Up is written and directed by Adam McKay and stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Cate Blanchett, Melanie Lynskey, Jonah Hill, Ariana Grande, Tyler Perry, Mark Rylance, Rob Morgan, Kid Cudi, Timothee Chalamet, and Meryl Streep. Two low-level astronomers must go on a giant media tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. Don't Look Up has been one of the biggest question marks of the year for me because I honestly had no idea what to expect from this film. All we really knew was that it had an all-star top-tier cast, a huge budget from Netflix, a pretty basic apocalypse plot, and that it was being helmed by Adam McKay. The writer-director who hit his big break by directing Will Ferrell vehicles took a huge career detour in 2015 with the critically acclaimed The Big Short. Since then, he has become an Oscar darling. But with Don't Look Up, it seemed as if he was mixing his early silly comedic sensibilities with his newly found love for political and social satire. And the biggest question we all had was, is he going to be able to pull that off? My answer to that is yes and no. The film starts off really strong, placing us in this anxiety-ridden situation with Leonardo DiCaprio's Dr. Mindy and Jennifer Lawrence's Cate Dibiasky. They have discovered a comet that is headed towards Earth, and when it hits, will destroy the entire planet. Their efforts to try and sway the president, a hilarious Meryl Streep playing completely against type, to take action and find a solution proves to be futile. So they decide to go to the media, who also try to downplay their findings because the public just can't handle it. This whole first act of Don't Look Up is by far the strongest because it feels more focused and the comedy hits like a sharp knife in the gut. Unfortunately, I do believe that this movie goes completely off the rails around the 1 hour mark, and then it just drones on and on and on. The premise is a sound one, but for me the problem lies in the fact that the whole idea for the film takes place in that first act, and then McKay just kept adding more and more excess onto it. It's almost like an artist who has a beautiful painting, but then keeps applying more brushstrokes to it until it is completely unrecognizable from its simpler and better beginnings. Netflix has been known to give their filmmakers complete freedom and enormous budgets for these original films, when sometimes these creators need to be reined in a bit. Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead is another good example of this. The biggest issue with Don't Look Up as it progresses is that this biting social satire completely loses any sense of focus. The film pretty much equates to a lost puppy dog that cannot find its way and keeps getting distracted at every turn. The humor is all over the place. Sometimes it's broad and improv-like, other times it's outright bizarre, and then we get the on-the-nose comedy that falls completely flat and loses all sense of its satirical roots. The story jumps from one place to the next in what seems to be almost complete randomness, rather than a story that has a purpose and final destination. This is exemplified by a mid-credit scene that is so out there and off-putting that I honestly ask myself, what in the actual fuck am I watching? And none of these problems are helped by a ridiculously bloated runtime. With all of that said, Don't Look Up has one thing that is going for it, and that thing is It's entertainment value. This movie, despite it being a jumbled mess, can be a nasty bit of fun that is completely unpredictable and wholly provocative. Even though the A-list cast is mostly playing a bunch of caricatures with not much substance, you can tell they are all having an absolute blast making this movie. It seems that they are all aware that they are a part of this absurdist, whacked-out vision that McKay has, so luckily they let us in on that inside joke too. I'm not gonna go over each and every performer in the ensemble, because if I did we would probably be here all day, but there are certainly a couple of highlights here. First and foremost, Cate Blanchett is completely unrecognizable as a Kelly Ripa, Megyn Kelly type news anchor who falls in a little too closely with DiCaprio's doctor. Blanchett is perfectly slimy and sexy all at the same time, and her scenes with Tyler Perry while they are on air together are dynamic and hilarious. And Jennifer Lawrence totally surprised me with her sharp wit here, probably garnering the most laughs out of anybody in the cast. I would definitely like to see her headline a more straightforward comedy in the future. And like I said, the rest of the cast is having a great time, even if their characters don't have much purpose to the overall story. Don't Look Up is a real head-scratcher. My immediate thought after finishing the movie is that it reminded me a lot of House of Gucci in many ways. It has an impressive all-star cast, a talented proven director, and pundits have been predicting it as Oscar fodder for months now. But what both of these movies have in common is that they are overlong, all over the place, and the farthest thing from esteemed cinema. Yet, they are both wildly entertaining in a near guilty pleasure sort of way. So I will be giving Don't Look Up 3 comets out of 5. Definitely not the intelligent, thought-provoking satire many people were hoping it would be. Don't Look Up suffers from a near complete lack of focus and a filmmaker who just didn't know when enough was enough. But it is also bizarrely entertaining, mostly due to its cast who are all having the time of their lives, and the fact that you really never know what is gonna happen next. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel. Please make sure to leave your thoughts on Don't Look Up in the comment section down below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you right in the middle like me? I'd love to know what you all think. And until next time, everyone, take care.